All right, welcome in, everybody. As Week 14 in the National Football League has come to a close, we're still basking in the glow, Tony, of that 10-6, best 10-6 win in the NFL this year, I would say.
Yeah.
Any team has
I would
had.
say to the point where I don't even know why anyone else would try to win a game 10-6.
Why would you?
You know?
Right, why would you? Jeff Lageman's here. Logs, by any score, the Jags desperately needed to come out with more points than their opponent.
They needed that one. I mean, the fans needed that one.
Well, it's funny because
depends on what fan you're talking to.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
You know, there's the draft watchers, and I think that's a valid place to be, you know, when you're eliminated. But, yeah, if you just want the relief of Jaguar victory, it was long overdue.
I think a lot of people root for different outcomes for different reasons, and I get it. But, look, the coaches, the players, they work hard. You know, I mean, it's not like they don't try, you know. So when they do win, I'm happy for them because I've been there before where you're not winning and it's not fun. And, you're in the business of winning. And when you're not winning, there is no fun. I mean, it's plain and simple. So to get that victory, and it's been, what was it, like 5 games in a row that they lost? I mean, to get one finally. Whew.
Well, it hadn't won stateside since they beat
like
the Colts.
a long time ago.
So you're going back a ways here, and so they get the dub, and
it's a rival.
Well, sure.
I mean, it's Tennessee.
Well, you're playing against Calvin Ridley, who thumbed his nose at you for a few more bucks from the Tennessee Titans, and then there's Calvin Ridley realizing, oh damn, nobody was trying to tackle me when I ran straight out of bounds.
I think I'm okay with him getting all that money in Tennessee.
As it worked, I was thinking about this morning. By not signing Calvin Ridley, gave you the money to sign Eric Armstead, but it also gave you the wherewithal to draft Brian Thomas Jr. in the way it went down. So
Correct.
I think had you signed Ridley, you probably don't sign Armstead, is my guess. And then in the draft, maybe you're drafting an offensive lineman, something like maybe you have a guard. So would you rather right now have Calvin Ridley and his up and down nature and his, what is he, 30 now, 30 right around there, something like that?
Yeah.
And a guard, or would you rather have Brian Thomas Jr. and Eric Armstead? And Eric Armstead is not the fan favorite right now, but I think Brian Thomas Jr. makes up for a lot.
Well, I think Brian Thomas Jr. just by himself is plenty.
Right. So which side would you come down? I'll come down. And even if sometimes you kind of fall your way into it, right? Because they made a legitimate effort to bring back Calvin Ridley. And if he takes their $20 million, then we're talking about who knows what,
The reality is that if you don't have Brian Thomas Jr. on this football team this year, I don't know if you got as many wins as you do.
All right, which is very scant to begin with. But Mac Jones called him the best player on the team, or at least I presume he means on offense. At least he said, hey, we got to get the ball to our best player.
Without a doubt.
No question, right?
Look how many points you get in the first half when you didn't get him a ball.
None. And this is the thing coming out of the game, Logs. And I try not to make too much out of one or two comments, but Doug Peterson apparently said it in the post-game press conference. He said it to Bucky Brooks that at halftime, we decided that we needed to switch up the game plan and get the ball to Brian Thomas Jr. And then he kind of laughed like, I guess people out there are going to be saying, why didn't you do it all along? I guess you're smarter than I am. Well, I think we're all smart enough to know you need to get the ball to Brian Thomas Jr.
before you said it. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, I mean, how is that not the game plan anyway? He went from 2 targets in the first half, including one that was thrown into double or triple coverage. They got picked off, to 10 in the second half, and you connected 8 times, and you finally started to move the ball.
Well, I think they wanted to get him the ball, and Doug said as much that, look, for whatever reason, it didn't work out in the first half of the ball going his way. I know in the first half that Mac a couple times got a little flash of pressure and his eyes drop, and then then he's a runner. Or there was pressure, or the read wasn't there. I mean, but it doesn't matter. I mean, the reality is that, when you have a great player, you force feed a great player, especially when you don't have a lot of options. And I think they went that route in the second half, and it obviously worked. Disappointed that they weren't able to get Parker Washington more involved, but I think a lot of that has to do with the quarterback play. If Mac Jones gets better, I think then all of a sudden now you've got better contributions from all of your skill position players. And I thought in the first half, Mac wasn't very good. I thought in the second half, I thought he did a good job.
Yeah, he was better for sure. And somebody called in the postgame saying you guys are not giving him enough credit. He did a good job getting rid of the ball quickly. The first half was so bad. The team didn't score any points until the fourth quarter of this game. This is a Tennessee defense that had just allowed 42 the week before.
Right, and thank goodness that Tank Bigsby converted in the second half on that 4th and 1.
Right.
I mean,
you're right.
I mean, I'm sitting there going, in this game, take the points. Because it's a low-scoring affair. And
they ended up settling for a field goal anyway.
Right, but if you don't convert on 4th down there, I mean, you take 3 points off the board. You know, I mean, where does that game end up going?
I can see both ways on that one. Like, it's only a 6-point game, take the field goal. But also, how many times have we been down here? How many times can we realistically expect to get back down here?
That was my concern. That's kind of why, in that situation, I was thinking take the points. But, it worked out fine and ended up getting the points there anyway.
Did you watch the game last night? Any Monday Night Football?
I watched a little bit of it, Mike, and then, my bedtime was a little bit too early.
I got you. I'm on the air, so, I'm watching it, and Jamar Chase.
Great player.
Is a great player. I'm not saying that Brian Thomas Jr. is at his level, but this is what you do. He got 18 targets. He caught 14 of them for 177 yards and 2 touchdowns. And after the game, they said they missed opportunities to get him the ball.
Oh, yeah.
That is what you do when you got a weapon.
Well, I mean, you also have to have, you have to be able to make first downs, to get plays, to get that number where it's at, and this offense has been struggling of late, whether, Mac Jones, Trevor Lawrence, I mean, whoever's been in there, this offense has been struggling to find any footing. And I think if you start converting some more first downs, you start getting a little bit better result in time of possession, then you can start maybe getting numbers that approach that. I don't know if you're going to get to that number, but look, you have a great player in Brian Thomas Jr., and he can do a lot of different things. I'm a little disappointed he didn't make that one catch early in the game. It was kind of a back shoulder ball, and thought he should have made that. But look, he's a great player. He's dynamic. He's the most explosive element that you have. And you need to find ways that are designed to get him the ball. And if you don't, I think you're doing your team a disservice.
I think it seemed obvious that the game plan was for them, because they couldn't run the ball. Short passing game is going to be an extension of the running game in the first half.
On the running thing, I don't think they even tried. Early in that ball game, it was almost like, we're resigned to the fact that they got 2 really good defensive tackles and we're just not going to run the ball.
Well, I mean, Bigsby had 6 carries, but he only went for 4 yards.
Yeah, I mean,
so
and when you got 2 big players like that, I mean, just don't run where they're at. Go to the outside. When you got 2 big guys in the middle, go to the outside. Because a lot of those big guys can't run, and Devontae Sweat can't run. Simmons can run, but Sweat can't run. So take advantage of the lack of mobility by a big guy like that and attack the outer edge. And I thought they did a great job in the second half because they kind of stuck with that run a little bit. And Tank got warmed up, and really good player. And, to me, he's got to be your guy. I mean,
he went for about 4 yards a carry in the second half.
Yeah, he's a better runner. More powerful, when he converted that 4th down. And he also had the touchdown run, which was a very strong run. He had another run on a 3rd and 1. That he hit it real strong. I don't remember exactly how many he gained on that, but it had to be like close to 10 or 12 yards or something like that.
Yeah, 12 was this long, so that was probably it.
He's the better runner. He needs to be the guy on 1st and 2nd down, and ETN needs to be the guy on passing down.
Well, that's what they did, though. I mean, he got 18 carries to 4 for ETN. ETN, though.
Just kind of wondering why. I mean, why did it take so long to get to this point? Just like defensively, Monteric Brown has started, right? Okay, well, he's been playing better. Why did it take so long to get to that point? I mean, there's some things you sit there and you go, hello.
Oh, there's still, things to me. I'd still like to see more Ventrell Miller out there on the football field.
Hey, Mia here, and thanks so much for watching 1010XL Jaguars. For even more coverage of the Big Cats, be sure to subscribe to 1010XL Jaguars.